All right, world. Hey, I'm here. I'm taking over Chris's show. I'm going to be the guest host as we get to interview him, and he gets all his fun facts together for us. A lot of free, solid information for all us agents out there. In case you don't know, I'm Ryan Harrow. I am an agent, and I do work with Chris as well. We're running a little late due to my hair and makeup session, but we're live and we're here. So if you're on us on Facebook, like us, love us, give us comments. YouTube, put the comments in below. This whole show's for you, and we're going to give you some opportunities to ask questions, and Chris is going to answer them. And then we've got a lot of other information for you. So definitely jump in and let's have this conversation. Chris, how you feeling tonight?
I feel great. I mean, look, I'll give you credit. It took you an extra 10 minutes, but your hair looks amazing, and your makeup artist probably needs a raise. So you're looking good, man. You're looking good.
I agree. Sometimes it takes the product the time to set. So
fair enough. What's going on with you, man? I mean, it's a holiday season, and as a real estate agent, hopefully everybody's looking forward to 2017 because it's fast approaching. I mean, tomorrow is the 15th of December, and so really it should be turning our focus not into holiday parties, but during the day when we're thinking about work, it ought to be what are we going to be doing next year. So I'm fired up, and I'm looking forward. We got tons of things that cost zero except for time and effort that we're going to give to agents. I mean, tons and tons and tons of things you can do to double, triple, smash your real estate goals. And all they'll cost is a little bit of elbow grease, as they say. So I'm excited, man.
I love costing nothing. Free 99 is my favorite.
Free 99, free 99, free 99, baby. That is the deal. Hello to all y'all on Facebook Live. If you're watching, go to our YouTube channel or go to christalks.com/office hours, and you can see the full interview, including host Ryan Harrow. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, go over to christalks.com/office hours, and you catch the full show. So Ryan, why don't you kick us off, man, and remind our guests that this is a Q&A show. That's why we are putting up with the technology of live. So tell them how they can ask a question so that we can answer as we go along.
Well, if they're on Facebook, I mean, they can jump in right there. If they're in the comments section, YouTube, same thing. We want you to jump in, make your comments down there. If you're at the Twitter, on Twitter, you can tweet them right there. We're going to get to you. I mean, anything and everything. We're here, and we're here for you. I'm trying to pull up the everything so that we can see everybody's comments because they're going to be coming in from all angles as they do every show. So it's
if you use the hashtag office hours anywhere online, I promise you we will find it. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and you can also now email me to keep it simple. Email your question directly to me at chris@christalks.com. Doesn't get any easier than that. The best part about doing it live is to take your questions. So anything real estate sales related, marketing, online, offline, whatever it is, that's what we're here for. Look, this is the business that we love. We do this show for you. So bring your questions. I cannot wait to see what you guys have. So Ryan, what's the first item that we want to make sure that we cover?
Well, we're going to get it started. We're going to get it started with, everything starts with the goals. We're leading into, everybody should hopefully have had a great and successful 2016, looking forward to 2017. So in your experience and with what you've got going on and what you coach and preach and tell everybody in your classes, what would you say, how would you start them off with a goal and for their 2017?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, for those of you out there, we were catching up a little bit before the show, before he had to go to hair and makeup and all that stuff. And, the number one thing is I could give you a free hack this, free app that, do this, do that, do this, do that. But everything has to start with setting a target, setting a goal. What is it that you want to accomplish in 2017? Because the road to nowhere leads to nowhere. So if you have no idea what you're planning on doing with your real estate career in 2017, well, I promise you, you can accomplish an unknown target, an unknown goal. So number one, you hear it all the time, but I really want you to tell us, and I really want you to write it down. Post it on your refrigerator. Make sure you know, I want to close this many deals. I want to make this much money. I want to surpass that agent in my market for number one. You got to know what it takes, because everything else that you're going to need to do starts with, what is my ultimate target? That's the big deal. I see some folks are rolling in the live stream. Thanks for finding us. Thanks for putting up with the technical difficulties. But yeah, Ryan, it starts with a goal, man. So if I were talking to you, I'd say, Ryan, what's your goal for 2017? Now, you don't have to tell the audience, but like, if you don't have one, then how do you know how many people you need in your database? How do you know how many phone calls you need to make? How do you know you got to do stuff with your email and your CRM and your Facebook and if you don't have a goal, like, you're just waddling around, and it's easy to accomplish something that doesn't exist. So my number one thing is, when you're thinking forward to 2017, have a hard and fast goal, because then it's staring you in the face, and then you know, going backwards, all the effort that it's going to take to reach it, whether it's a small goal, medium goal, huge, big, audacious goal, whatever it is, you got to have one. I know that's going back to basics, but Ryan, I'm telling you, we've had conversations, and it amazes me how many people in a sales career don't have a target that they're shooting for, which makes it impossible for me to tell you what you need to do in order to get there.
Well, it's hard to get somewhere without the map, right? The road map. So,
and where the destination? The goal is the destination. I mean, you know, you're just wandering around otherwise.
So to get to that goal for a lot of these agents and myself out there, what would what's some good tidbits out there that's going to get us there? You know, whatever that goal may be. Obviously, most of us are going to set it on a financial goal, number of closings per month, and total for the year. But we need tips, tools, tricks, something to get us there. We can't. I mean, I'll walk around, shake hands, kiss babies all day, but we've got to scale that out. What are some trends or things that you think are going to benefit agents coming up?
Yeah, no, sure. Well, I mean, first of all, Ryan, again, I'm going to go right back to it. You don't know how many babies you have to kiss or how many hands you got to shake if you don't know how much money you're trying to make, how many sales you're trying to accomplish, how many people you're trying to reach. Listen, goals don't have to be money, but they have to be something tangible that you're after. So, in our school business, how many students do I want to see go through our doors? That's a defined target. The tuition, whatever comes with it, is not the deal. It's numbers. So number of transactions, or, hey, I just want to be able to quit my full-time job and really dive into real estate, as an example. So when it comes to goals, you hear about SMART, and there's some specific and measurable and all of those things. Well, the only thing I want really is that it's specific, because then I can set you up with every free trick in the bag to get there, but it's got to be specific. So Ryan, hopefully as soon as you're done this broadcast, you're going to write down a specific goal relative to your real estate output. I think that's incredibly important, especially if you're new, or especially if you're kind of resting on your laurels and you need a recharge. Nothing to recharge you like a defined goal. So look, the purpose of this show was a bunch of free hacks, right? So that you could smash those goals. So we got to start with, you got to have a goal. So now if you want to smash those goals in 2017, dominate what you did this year, dominate those other agents, your competition if you want, whatever the case may be, number one thing that you've heard me talking about a lot, and a lot of it is 100% free, is that I want to see everybody take their online presence extremely seriously, because still in 2017, everybody's on Facebook, everybody Googles, right? Everybody's got smartphones, but not everybody's taking their business seriously in terms of their online presence. So an exercise that we do all the time, and we do it in our tech and branding training courses that I do, is Google yourself. Like, you should Google yourself regularly, but if you've never done it, Google yourself now. And what do you see? And that exercise is really simple for one reason. If you can't find you, then potential clients and customers definitely can't find you. So I've got a list of ways that you can easily be found. Now, this is not advanced SEO. This is not, you got to spend money in any way, shape, or form. These are all free things that you can do. And all you got to do is go there and set up your profile, and instantly you will raise your Google profile. So I'm going to run down them. And the first one's the most important, because if you're on Facebook and you're selling real estate and you don't have a Facebook business page, go open another tab right now. Go on your Facebook account, open a business page, and open it in your name. Save it. Even if you don't want to use it, you've got to have one, because immediately you've got to start pumping out your marketable assets through Facebook business, like your listings, your open houses, and things of that nature, because Facebook business is designed almost, it feels like exclusively for real estate agents. And a lot of you, if you Google yourself, you will see your Facebook profile, your Google profile, your LinkedIn, which we'll talk about in a second. A lot of that is what shows up. That's the whole point. Just by setting it up, you make yourself easier to find online. The second is,
with the Facebook business page, what else? What's the difference between that and using my personal?
Well, there's a dramatic difference. Number one, if you're a real estate agent, you're a business. So you need to start acting like one. And really, for a lot of people get annoyed about people pumping out their businesses and sales and all that through their personal Facebook page. Well, now that Facebook is a publicly traded company, their goal is obviously to make money for their stockholders. And so therefore, their ad product is extremely robust, but ads cost money. So that'll be a different topic for a different day. But the real point there, Ryan, is you're violating Facebook terms of service if you post your listings on your personal account, but you're free reign by putting them on your business account and then sharing them. So it gives you leverage, and it gives you a place on the web, again, where Ryan Harrow's professional business page will show up on Google. And therefore, when somebody's looking for a realtor, they'll be able to see immediately when they see you on Google that Ryan Harrow sells real estate, not that he's just some guy.
And I get all that.
Because remember, consumer attention is short. Go ahead.
And I get all that for free.
Free, 100%.
Free.
None of it costs anything. However long it takes you to like log into Facebook and set it up. So the second, look, I'm going to go through a few of these because a lot of these are profiles online that you need to have. I'm talking about Facebook Live people. Look, claim your LinkedIn profile. If you haven't done that yet, that is another place where you need to be, and LinkedIn and Google really get along. So it's a professional place. It's basically Facebook for professionals. Set up an account. So all of these, I'm not going to get into what to do with them. Make sure you're on them. You have a picture, your contact information, that you exist. You don't have to do anything, but it gives you an online presence at all these places, and setting up an account or profile zero. Look, we did an office hours episode on realtor.com. Especially if you're a member of the board of realtors, you have a profile sitting there on realtor.com already. So go claim your 100% free profile that sits on a hugely ranking high domain like realtor.com and take advantage of that. Make sure you get your profile set up on Zillow. Make sure you get your profile set up on Trulia. They have the traffic. I'm not saying you have to use them. I'm not saying you have to necessarily post your listings there if you don't want, because a lot of agents and brokers have different opinions or strategies on that. But your space and your profile should be there because you're piggybacking on Zillow.com's authority. You're piggybacking on Trulia.com's authority. So all of that is free to set up an account, paste your pretty picture, make sure your contact information is there, because you'll be amazed how all of that fits together. A couple of other free ones. Set up a Twitter account. You don't have to do anything with it, but you'd be amazed. Search engines like Twitter. A lot of times if you search for a celebrity, Google a celebrity, their Twitter account's the first thing that comes up. So if you don't know about Twitter, don't know what to do, I'm not saying any of that. Set the profile up, and all of these, make sure it's your name and that real estate is what you do. You're making yourself visible online, and none of these cost a thing. Claim a YouTube account. If you have a Gmail, YouTube is free. Create a YouTube account, and then I can show you 1,000 things you should be doing there, listing videos. It's just a housing place for any and all videos. But again, that's free. And Ryan, remind me, who owns YouTube? Google, right?
I believe that's Google.
So if you have a YouTube page, might they make it a little easier to find you on their search engine that they own?
I think it would help.
And then make sure that you have an account on Yelp, because we talk a lot about reviews. And I'm going to dive into that a little deeper, but each and every one of those that I talked about is free. And that's that many more places that you have a profile online that relates to you as a real estate agent. That's going to raise your online profile, make it easier for you to be found. And then I can go through each of those and I can give you a strategy on what specifically to do with Realtor.com, what to do with LinkedIn, of course, what to do on your Facebook business page, but you got to have it first. And all of those are 100% free, 99. They cost nothing. And that's the whole point.
That's it. That's it. Those are strong. I love it. I love it.
Absolutely. You're building a web, which makes it easier to find you because you're everywhere.
Well, and that's just growing and getting online. I mean, I know we've got some more information coming up, guys. So let's see. Another question for you is, once you get all this and you have it out there, and, as an agent, I could be running around doing different things all day, between sitting in my office or going to get dry cleaning, showings, but, in somewhat days that can be very reactive. What are some good things for experienced or even new agents on, time blocking principles?
Time blocking. I get asked that all the time. Time management, time blocking. What should I be doing with my time? And then you're going to get into, so here's a free hack for you. Very simple. You need to know, if you're in a real estate sales business, the difference between activities that are growing your business, bringing in new sales, growing your income, your bottom line, and then literally everything else. So when it comes to time blocking, I mean, it's a passion of mine because efficiency, look, time is your most precious resource, but I think there's a difference between being busy and being productive. There's a difference between filling up the hours in the day and actually doing the things that grow your real estate business. And I think far too many people, Ryan, are caught up just doing a million things, or they show 1,000 houses over a weekend to a buyer that they didn't even pre-qualify, and come to find out is unemployed and can't buy a house. But hey, I worked all weekend, right? Negative. So here's the hack, and it's the 1-2-3 approach. And the 1-2-3 approach for me really keeps it pretty simple if you're in real estate. The 1-2-3 approach goes like this. Number one are activities that bring in new business. You need to identify them, know what they are, and put them as your number one priority on a daily basis as far as your real estate business. Then number two are what I call support activities. Support activities are like emails that are not important, getting on social media and wasting time, filing, going on broker tours when you don't have a client that you're even looking at houses for. I'm sorry, but you're wasting time. That's number two. And then number three is everything else. Identifying what literally is the last thing you should be doing. And far too many people, especially the sales career, do a lot of number two, which means they're doing stuff that's busy work, that feels good, that keeps them occupied, but is not bringing in business. So my encouragement for as many people as I can preach from the rooftops in 2017 is to identify what activities actually grow your business, prioritize those, do those every day, and then do everything else. So specific examples would be things that actually generate leads, right? Things that actually bring in business, things that get you appointments. So we could talk about, and I have 1,000 strategies on how to do that, but you need to make that a number one priority. So the office worker goes in every day, for instance, fires up their computer, starts checking email, and then, well, it's 5 o'clock and goes home. Hey, I worked all day. The real estate agent is an entrepreneur. You can't do that unless you are converting e-leads all day long, converting them, not looking at them, not buying them, converting them into appointments. You should not be sitting in front of your email all day if that's not how your business is generated. I mean, that's kind of my point. If you're busy all day and you didn't generate new business, your stuff's out of whack. And, so the 1, 2, 3 approach, in other words, if I don't get my 1 done, I'm not even doing 2 today. And then 3, no chance. So I'm only going to get to number 2, support activities, if I finish my number 1 for the day, make my phone calls, send my emails, do my lead generation. Then I can get to the number 2 stuff, right? Like printing up the graphic on my website. But people sit there and do that stuff all day long, and it's not generating leads. I mean, it's not. It's important. So it's number 2. But number 1 is what actively brings in money. And a lot of that is just time and effort doing the things that we talk about. So the 1, 2, 3 method, if I was going to give you a hack, that's the way to do it. And if you don't get past tier 1, money generating activities, then forget 2 and 3, right? Like I can file tomorrow. That makes me $0. I mean, the files can sit over there. It's new business all the time. That's how you grow.
I love it. And I love it. And we all have calendars right here on our little phones, or you could even print one up. And I know you always preach with the time blocking. I mean, document it all down. Set your times throughout the day. And for prospecting, if filing's important, put it after business hours, 7 o'clock p.m. That's when you file. So I know you're big on, and that's another free. It's on your phone.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, give yourself, just this is a total sidetrack, but in 2017, what I'd like to see people do is give themselves shorter deadlines. Shorter deadlines. In other words, this week I'm going to reach out to those 50 people. Why not today? Because Parkinson's law is this whole theory that I'm big on, which means it essentially says that tasks will grow into the time that's allotted to complete them. So if I tell myself I have to make 50 calls, but I got till Friday, guess what? I'll magically wait and make sure I get them done on Friday. Well, if I say I got to do them all today, I'll magically find a way to get 50 calls done today, and then tomorrow, and then the next day, and the next day. So Parkinson's law really is the idea of combining procrastination, and you really don't need as much time as you think you need to get stuff done. It's just a matter of blocking it. Because if you sit there and you say, I'm going to make 50 calls and hold yourself accountable, you'd be amazed what you can accomplish with that sort of activity, as opposed to, I'm going to log into my email and see where it takes me today. Well, that's everybody else's stuff. You're not driving the bus, which is driving your real estate business.
Well, that's perfect. And that kind of leads me into my next question, because if you are sitting there and you've got 50 people to call, wherever you got them, if you paid for the leads or if they're just family and friends, do you have anything out there for these guys that I mean, how do you track it? I don't want to call Chris twice in a week or a month and ask him the same things, because I was unorganized. What's your best tip for that?
All right. So this is all about free hacks. So, I really want to make sure that we dominate and give as much practical stuff that people can use. So as an example, all right, people love technology to a degree, and they always want an app. They want this or that can help them. So I got a few on that front. One thing that I get asked all the time from new agents especially, but brokers or anyone that doesn't have massive resources to where they have their own CRM system. I get asked that all the time. CRM, which one to use? And what happens is, because the industry is so big and there's so many CRMs out there, that I think a lot of people get frozen by the choices and never end up picking one and using one. So to keep things practical, I'm going to give you some free ones. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. These are all free. It fits Ryan's budget of free $99. So no tool matters unless you use it. So the number one free one that I start with all the time is a good old-fashioned spreadsheet. Because if you don't even have a database, then what do you need a CRM for?
Shocking.
I mean, you're melting down over a tool and you don't even have people to put in it. So if you have a Gmail account, you've got Google Sheets. That's your first CRM. Until there's 100 people on that spreadsheet, you don't need a CRM because you don't even know what you're going to do with it. You got nobody to contact on any sort of rotation. But if you're ready for one, and I got a few free ones. The first one I like a lot is Streak for Gmail.
Okay.
And the reason I like Streak is that it integrates with Gmail and it's free. So it's designed for real estate agents. Its initial plan is free and it integrates right along. So if you're using Google Sheets, guess what? You sign up for Streak, it's going to say, you got a Google Sheet you want to import into me? And you're going to go, yes, I do. And now you have a CRM. Another one that's free is HubSpot. It's a big boy in the industry, but just to get you set up and get your CRM rolling, their initial tier is free. So don't melt down with all the features yet. It is 100% free. And there's one more that's got a great free basic plan, which is called Insightly. Insightly. And that one is also free. And so if you're looking for a CRM, you're overloaded, there's some free ones for you. So pick from those. And if you don't have 100 people in your database, you don't need a CRM. So new agents out there, your CRM is to keep in touch with your relationships with your customers. So you have customers, you don't need to have a relationship system. So customers is anybody and everybody that you know. I mean, this is sales 101, but I'm just amazed and shocked at how many people don't do that. So the point of a CRM is to keep yourself accountable. So when's the last time I emailed Ryan? When's the last time I sent a Facebook message to Ryan? When's the last time I sent him a gift, a postcard, picked up the phone and called him? That's what a CRM is all about. Now, as you get deeper, they can be automatic, right? They can set up automatic campaign, do all kinds of cool stuff. But the basics are, do you have people to contact and are you keeping track of how you're contacting them? So most people don't get past that step because then it's in their face and you're accountable. Wow, here's my list of 100.
Yeah.
Now I got to contact them. So you don't want the CRM because the CRM, when you log in, is going to yell at you and go, you haven't talked to this person in forever. And you're going to go, oh, yeah, log out, right? So I hope that answers your question. I mean, look, all of those are free. None of them cost anything. There's no tricks. And,
that's exactly what I wanted for the audience. I mean, you've got to start somewhere. And, I mean, what better place than just a spreadsheet with names on it? And I think you brushed on it a lot during that information on the fact that what good is it if you don't have the people, and how do you get the people is picking up the phone, picking up the phone and talking to them. I mean, whether you are emailing them or Facebooking them or however you're contacting them.
This thing has a phone feature? I thought
every once in a while, when I don't hit silent, it will ring. And, so it's the same thing. I mean, I think that's, I mean, what are your, I mean, I guess that's the biggest hidden tip in there that you kind of brushed over. I'd love for you to expand on, just getting these people to call.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that the biggest free hacks, and what I like to preach, especially to new agents, but anybody that's looking to kind of refresh their career or get things going again, and whatever you're selling, real estate or anything else, you'd be amazed at the power of picking up the phone and calling everyone that's done. It's the holidays right now. It's a perfect excuse to pick. Don't send that canned Merry Christmas card. I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but I think a phone call is very powerful because literally I'm thinking of you. And look, I appreciate you for doing business with me. And I just wanted to see how you were doing and say hello. And then you just have natural relationships and conversations, whether you're selling real estate or widgets. It's really an amazing, powerful tool. And so when we talk about free hacks, this is a great combination of old school and new school. And that's really what I'm about. The old school stuff, what old school killer agents need to realize is all this technology is playing right into your hands because everything is about relationships and being social. Sorry, my people on Facebook Live, I'm swinging the phone around. They're like, what am I looking at? So what I want you guys to understand is make a commitment to pick up the phone. If you've never even sold a single house yet, then make a commitment to pick up the phone and reach out to the 100 people. What's the worst case scenario if you pick up the phone and call a friend? I mean, worst case scenario, they don't answer. Like, I'm not talking about a salesy phone call, just a phone call. And then, hey, how are you doing, Ryan? What's going on, man? What you been up to lately? And you start telling me, what's the natural response question? What are you going to ask me back?
How have you been? What have you been up to?
Right. Oh, man, Ryan, I'm glad you asked. Actually, I'm in the real estate business now. And Ryan goes, really? I didn't know that. We were thinking about buying a house. Really? Which may never have happened if I didn't just pick up the phone. And it's not intrusive. It's just human at scale. Pick up the phone. So all of these strategies, that's my point. You're looking for free hacks. The oldest hack in the book is just reach out to people directly and develop relationships. If you have all those social sites, you're findable. You're collecting a database, these free tools. I mean, all of that stuff. It works, man.
All right, so let's just do a recap. You know, I'm out there. I've done some things. I've made some phone calls. I've even had a couple closings now. So let's recap some of the tools to kind of wrap it and bring it all back with a pretty Christmas bow for everybody. You know, what are some of the, if you are advanced enough to start getting into some of the apps and different things, what are your favorites out there?
All right. Well, number one, as the show host, Ryan, your job is to recap. All right. Like, I'm out of breath from ranting and raving. And listen, if you guys are watching this, make sure that you share it, that you like it, that you comment. Don't forget this. The reason we do this live is it's a Q&A show. I mean, bring your questions on from the most basic to the advanced. Find us on Twitter. Just ask your question. Use the hashtag office hours. You can email it directly to me, Chris@christalks.com. Or you can hit us up in the YouTube comments and ask your question, and we'll make sure to grab it there. So this is a live Q&A show. There's nothing like it, man. We do it every week, whether we get one question or 50. So if you got a sales question, it's real estate related, any sort of hack, or you got something that you want to share with the audience, bring it on. So, you know, to answer your question, Ryan, the biggest thing for me is that it's amazing in this day and age that people are forgetting the importance of the traditional sales skills, number one. And then number two, for an advanced agent, if you're generating leads, whether you're paying for them, you're doing it naturally, you got leads flowing in through your email, you're buying them on Zillow or Realtor, whatever you're doing, my number one goal for the advanced agent is to accurately and intently track every single lead in 2017. So that you will know your conversion and you will know your sources of business so that you can double and triple down on those. Because when you get advanced enough, there's some agents that literally built their careers on expired listings. Some built their careers on for sale by owners, built their careers as listing agents, built their careers as buyer specialists. So the number one thing that I want to see is I want to see people track their lead conversion, which starts with, I get a seller lead where I'm going to a listing appointment. Where did it come from? After the appointment, did it convert? What was my method? Track it as accurately as possible. So I don't even care about tools. Your CRM can do that for you. Spreadsheets can do that for you. You need to know where your business is coming from in order to maybe find your weak spot. Like maybe you're an experienced agent that has completely ignored the online realm and you realize I need to do that. Or, you know, your business is coming from here and it's coming from there. And well, how are you going to know where to spend your time and effort? Like if you look at it, sometimes you'll be like, wow, like all my business is friends and family. I need to double down on that. And then I need to expand. I need to work another lead generation strategy. So lead generation is key. Lead conversion is everything. And I'm really big on that. And you could do that with just where did my business come from? Where did it come from? You could track it free. Or if you have a CRM, many of them will greatly assist you in doing that.
Great. all very good information, and I mean, I can attest to it as well. Where I've had a listing and shown a house, and then you want to follow up, and it was like, where did that person come from?
Uh-huh.
You know,
You're right. How are you going to send them a thank you note? Like, what if it was somebody that referred it to you and you don't even remember who referred you to the business?
Yeah, you gotta not just get excited that you got somebody that wants to see the house. You gotta mark it all down. And yeah, I mean, you can do that in a notebook or a spreadsheet, or if you're more advanced and savvy, you can do that through an app or a website.
Yeah, absolutely. Either way. I mean, look, I know several agents, and the reason I keep going back to the spreadsheets is until you master the basics, why need the fancy tech? I know a lot of agents that run their business strictly through Facebook and Excel spreadsheets, and they kill it, but they're tracking it, and they have a purpose. They know their target. They know what they're trying to accomplish. And I think that's really, really important.
Sounds like the experienced ones have a goal then.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. So we just
started. I need to go back to that again and again. Right?
That started with it, and it's still a theme throughout. All right. Well, but what are some of the others? So I know we went through the some of the apps on as far as the Google Sheets and the Facebook technology and all the different social medias that everybody should claim if they haven't claimed yet.
Mm-hmm.
But just running a business or your day-to-day stuff, 2017, I mean, everybody's developing something, but some of these things out here are useful and helpful for people. And some of our audience members have tuned in just to hear what's something that they don't know about, that is helping some people out.
Well, you had a couple that we talked about right before the show. You had a couple of apps that you like. Why don't you go ahead and release those? Because, man, you've got a couple that you like to use. One is a to-do list that you can share, which I like, especially for teams, people that have admins and so forth. Why don't you share that app real quick?
I love it. You're flipping it on me now. So,
well, yeah, man,
that's what we got it. So, yeah, no, I do. I have an app, and it's also you can log in, and it works seamlessly throughout the whole cloud world. It's called Workflowy.
So Workflowy, I like that one.
Yeah, Workflowy, and it's real easy. It's a basic looking, looks like a regular document page when you pull it up, and then it just outlines things, and you keep putting them down, and you can use hashtags in front of different things as far as, so you can always go back and search them. You can share it. You can put it together with your team so you know who's working on a checklist and who's getting it out. And when you complete it, it strikes it through, which I love striking things off a to-do list.
Oh, yeah.
So it leaves it there, but you get to see the strike through. So, and you really can break it down in different ways. And from the app, it goes right where, like I said, it works seamlessly if you're looking at it on your desktop or your phone. I'm a big fan of it. I like to-do lists, and this one's in my pocket and kind of keeps it there. And it's free. There is an upgraded premium version, but I haven't even gotten to a point where I need that yet. So I don't, I'm sure it's for some bigger enterprises, but it is a great tool.
Oh yeah, I love that one. And shout out to Jensen, man. He's telling us we're looking good up there in Ohio. I'm sure it's cold. Shout out to Jensen, who is like the video master, by the way. I'm gonna have to get him on the show. So Jensen, I'm calling you out by name. I'm going to bring you on one of these days to pop in, and we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube, because last time I saw him, we were nerding out on it in a good way. I mean, everything from cameras to angles to equipment to how he does it. He's the man. So anyway, we got a couple of questions. Number one, if you're watching on Facebook, listen, well, just we want to drive you to the YouTube page. Go to my website, christalks.com/office hours. Ask your questions. That's what we're here for, is the live Q&A. I can do this all day. But the one thing, the free hack, if you want to put it all and tie a bow on it, since it's the holidays, the free hack is time and effort. The longest road between 2 points is a shortcut. And so my hacks are simple. They're free things that you can use. They're free tools. It's free apps, all of that stuff. And my big thing is, until you're making enough profit to know where your money's coming from and how you're going to reinvest in your real estate business. Because listen, office hours, we got a lot of new agents or people that are really looking to regenerate things. And the key is, the biggest free hack of them all is to put the time and effort into the number one thing, which is what brings in business. Figure out what that is. So if you're spending a fortune on Realtor.com or Zillow ads, which I know some people are, and they work, well, how many are you actually responding to? How many are you converting? So that you can realize, hey, maybe I need to hire somebody, and that's all they do. And actually, they'll more pay them for themselves by how many leads they end up converting, as an example. Or, if I'm paying X and I'm getting leads and they're not converting, well, what are you doing to nurture those leads? Because one of the biggest issues is everybody wants, look, what can I do right now? I want a sale right now. Well, somebody starts looking at houses, they might be 90 up to 6 months away from actually buying a house. So people get frustrated because they get that lead and then they're like, oh, it didn't turn into anything. Well, did you follow up? What about the next month? Did you put them in a CRM? Do you know when the last, but they give up because, like, if you don't buy now, then I'm not interested. And I think that you got to have your eye on the overall goal for 2017. Right. So, my free hacks, the reason I talk about it is, if you're not even tracking your current business, I worry about them. Agents out there, if you're going to be paying money into some of these lead generation systems, because what they do is they buy a package, they work it for 30 days, and they go, oh, that didn't work. Well, how do we know it didn't work? How many leads did you generate? How many did you contact? Did you stick them in your CRM, which is the whole freaking point? You get a lot of these leads don't work. Well, some cases that might be true, but sometimes you got to give a little bit of time, like an advertising campaign. If you're looking for that instant punch, sometimes it doesn't work. So when you're thinking about your real estate career, you got to be thinking about first quarter, second quarter through 2017. So that's why I'm focused on 2017 now, because you got to be focused on it now to set the balls in motion to get what you want by the time spring selling season comes. If you're not starting to set up now, you're going to be behind the top agents in your marketplace who are putting the balls in motion and doing the things now, which I'm preaching, and I want to see you guys do.
Great point.
Got to be thinking forward. That's a free hack. So, there's no shortcuts. There's ways to make it easier, but the old school stuff still works, man.
Yep. My favorite free hack is your show, Office Hours.
There you go.
Pay attention,
Very
people.
nice.
Pay attention.
Exactly right, man. Look, what's the point of this show? We're doing it for you. I mean, that's the whole point. There's no secret end game here. Other than, I like talking about this business that I love, and I like helping people succeed. We can't do it all in the course of a 30-minute or an hour show, but we can always cover something. We can always give you something to help grow your business. And I think the number one with new agents and agents in general that get frustrated is it's the idea of everything should be easy, or give me an instant fix. Tell me what to do. And that's why I use the term hack, because actually hack means the shortest distance to get you an effective result, which you need to know the behaviors that give you effective results. That's what a hack is for me. It's not can I push this button and make $1 million? There's not a whole lot of those out there. And if so, then like where is it? I haven't found it yet. So anyway, we got some questions rolling in. We got some comments and things of that nature. So as I'm perusing this, Ryan, you got any feedback or anything that you can add to what I said as an experienced agent, since I'm doing so much of the talking while I'm looking at all the office hours hashtags around?
Yeah. So, I mean, anything I say is just going to be adding on to what you just commented on. I mean, it is the basis, getting out there, starting with the leads, letting people know what you do, and then converting them, and then following up, because there's nothing like having repeat business or immediate referral business. I mean, you mentioned Yelp, which is the online referral basis, and having, somebody share your Facebook page or something like that with a friend, but there's nothing better than a previous customer's testimonial. So that's, but you've got to be in front of them and stay in front of them and continue with them. And, all those things just get back to the basics. these hacks and these opportunities, through apps and other social media and different things are just supposed to enhance the basics. So it's,
yeah. Well, look, if you're a real estate agent, you got two things, right? If you're blowing and going and you're killing it and you're top agent, then you got money to spend. And so what you should be thinking about is, what's my budget and how am I going to spend it to give me the best ROI? If you're new and you don't have any money, if you don't have anything to spend on advertising, you have time and effort. You either have money or you have time and effort. And those that do both are the ones that become the top agents. So, when we're talking about all these things, I'll always go back to time and effort because it's the basic little things that work. So, for instance, on Facebook, if you're more comfortable messaging and talking to people on Facebook, well, make it a point to have X number of conversations on Facebook every day. No, hey, do business with me. No, hey, none of that mess, like legitimate personal connections. Because that's what leads to business, because people work with people. At the end of the day, I can't remember who I was watching. I would give them credit. But somebody was talking the other day and they said, the test is simple. If you shook somebody in the middle of the night and woke them up and you said, who's your real estate agent? How many people would know the answer to that? Not a lot. And so your job is to get your face and you in front of as many people as possible, because when the time comes that they're going to think about making a real estate decision, you're the one that's the last person they had a real estate conversation with. That's what it's really all about. So don't think that, they sold their house with that big agent last year, they're never going to use me. That's impossible. How could you even know that? How do you even know they were happy? So the point is to try to touch, get in contact with, have conversations with as many people as possible. So in addition to making yourself easier to find, what you're also doing by building that online presence with all those different profiles is it's a lot of different places, and you can find where you're comfortable to have more conversations.
Very good. Very good. All right.
All right. So Ryan, confession time. Confession time. Which of these that we've talked about tonight are you going to implement in your real estate business in 2017? It doesn't have to be top secret, but let's confess. Let me show you a successful man, something that we've talked about that he's probably going, okay, I need to do a better job. Come on, confession time.
I really, you know what?
I'm holding you accountable.
For me, it is the CRM because of and actually using it, because I have about, over 1,600 contacts.
Wow.
Between the years of doing this, and am I touching all of them? Not a chance. So I really need to get a systemized approach to that, and then a follow-up, and so mine's going to be the CRM and really working that magic out, and not, because I started a little bit earlier in November with that, and I can see that I'm touching the same 20 to 30 people when clearly I'm missing another 1,500, 1,600 and some change on that. So I need to get out there and do that.
You're sitting on a gold mine is the point, because these people probably want to do business with you. 1,600.
They love me.
Yeah, of course. And it's a decent sized database. So what if you managed to have a meaningful conversation with everybody in that database, or sent them an email or something at least once a quarter, all 1,600? You think there's not a chance that you're going to generate business from that? That's just time and effort, man. So don't be frozen. I'm just, as an example, by how you're going to do it, just do it.
Agreed.
Nike was genius, man. Just do it.
Agreed. Execution.
Yeah. Doing it, the effort. That's what it goes back to the same old thing. So I've got a couple of things. Sorry to my Facebook Live folks. I just want to make sure that you guys page, christalks.com/office hours. Ask your question in the comments. That's where we want to see. So a great question from Jessica. Shout out to Jessica. And Jessica asked about marketing on Instagram. And that's a great example of, okay, so it's a site that I missed. And thank you, Jessica, for reminding me, because Instagram's owned by Facebook. You should definitely have an Instagram account. And I think marketing on Instagram is huge in the real estate industry, because at the end of the day, if you're a listing agent and you want to sell houses, what sells houses? Most importantly, beautiful pictures. Last episode of Office Hours. Is this your first time? Make sure you go to episode 14. Eugenia is a photograph expert, and she gave you tons of tips on how to take prettier pictures. Because if you have a beautiful listing and you put it on Instagram and you play with the hashtag game and you make it to where there are people that go on Instagram every day. And I mean, tons. And all they do is look at houses and real estate because they just like it. So by just being out there, it's another avenue. And of course, Facebook, that owns Instagram, loves to have content on Instagram. So that's a great point, Jessica. I guess, I totally missed it because I'm thinking about Facebook, and Instagram is so obvious and it's right there. Absolutely. I think it's huge. And I think that when in regards to advertising and marketing, it's another place for your stuff to be. It's another place for somebody to see your name, your listing, and the whole 9 yards. So absolutely, add Instagram to the list. Thank you, Jessica, for reminding me. I feel goofy for leaving that one off. What a huge one.
Yeah. Especially since we tried Instagram Live today. If y'all haven't heard of that, they went live too.
Oh, yeah, baby. I love it. The number one question is, what happens after you broadcast live on Instagram? Nothing. It's gone. So you either jump in. So if you guys see me live on Instagram, make sure you jump in and say hello, because once we're done, whatever I'm talking about or whatever we're doing, it's over, baby. It's gone. So a few other things, as far as free apps and free hacks, just to kind of put a bow on it. Number one, Ryan, can you run down the list of the CRMs and a few of those apps? Kind of a free tool bonanza to put a bow on the show and remind people that are maybe just tuning in of the tangible free things they can download and they can use?
Absolutely. And I'll also put this in the YouTube notes later. So the first one, like I was mentioned earlier, for my to-do list is Workflowy. Then some of the CRMs we've got, Trilio, and we got Streak.
Well, hold on. Trello is another productivity app. Well, I didn't talk about that. I snuck it on the show notes on you. Trello is another great way to keep track of your projects, your to-do lists, and so on. And it's another free app. So that one's free. Trello. That's another one.
Oh, nice. Then there was Streak we talked about, Insightly, HubSpot. Those are all great CRMs. One we hadn't talked about yet, but is I think is done very well, especially for real estate agents to help some organization, is Evernote. It's a great free resource. They do have premium subscriptions too, but the free one has gotten me by through years of just being able to compile notes and files together and have them seamlessly, online.
And how much does it cost?
Oh, of course it's free.
Of course.
If I'm using it, it's free. Then of course, there's the favorites of the Google world. You got Google Drive, you have Google Sheets, Google Docs, all the things you need to get going and continue to stay organized and professional throughout the business is right there with the Google Suite stuff. Now this one we have, it's a little bit more on the marketing end of things. If you guys are out there and want to kind of start upping your game in some of the pictures that you do and creating some fun stuff, it's a website called Canva. You can check it out. You can upload your own photos and then be able to add some text on top of it. It's good for using on the social media post, as far as adding it to Twitter, making a nice personalized Facebook header. Those kind of things, and really get a professional look going for you. Then in that, we also have, I put on here one of the ones we like is MailChimp for email. You get a free up to, I don't know, a couple thousand users, something like that. You're able to use for your email campaigns. So that's.
Oh, there's a million. Yeah. A million of those. MailChimp. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it just keeps you on task. And look, a lot of these things, guys, out there, as far, especially like the MailChimps and some of the other, and you can schedule your post and schedule your email blast and all those things. So it goes into time blocking. So set 2 hours on your Monday mornings or your Tuesday afternoons and set up the whole next week or set up the whole next month. You know, you don't have to sit there and do it every day and where it feels. You can set this stuff up, schedule it in your time block marketing, you know, a couple hours, and then you've got your whole week set and you're good. And you can always add in different things throughout your week as it pops up, or repurpose somebody else's, you know, marketing material out there. So
well,
those things are
time
there.
blocking principles 101. No doubt. Well, look, I'm with you 1,000%. And I think kind of put a bow on the show and end it with this. And I want to really, because we're after 8 o'clock, even with technical difficulties, we want to stick to our window. If you guys are new to the show, make sure you go to the website, christalks.com/office hours, sign up for the mailing list. I want to make sure that you are apprised of everything we got going on here. Also, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, youtube.com/Chris Donaldson TV. As you can see, we're building a place, especially for those of you new to the industry, because a lot of you guys, once you pass the test, the question I get more than anything is, now what do I do? Well, we're giving you the blueprint. We're telling you, we're giving you the roadmap here. Go watch every episode of Office Hours. You got so much stuff to do. So really, I think a couple of things. Number one, this is not complicated. Don't overcomplicate it. Sales is still sales. So I keep going back to the same stuff because everybody wants to do this and they want to do that. The hard, simple stuff is what makes you money, especially early on. The second is this: perfection is the enemy of progress. That's my quote of the day. Perfection is the enemy of progress. In other words, I was just talking to a broker friend of mine the other day, and she was laughing about how agents were coming into her office and they were sweating every detail of their business cards. And I get that your identity and how important it is, and it needs to be beautiful. But guys, if you're going to take an extra week to get business cards because you're melting down over exactly what color or which picture, don't do that. Get your first batch of cards, get one in everybody you know's hands. Then if you don't like it, get your next set and change it. The point is, websites, things like Facebook, people are waiting till it's 100% perfect until they're going to do it. Look at Office Hours tonight. We had technical difficulties, Ryan, right? But the point is, it doesn't matter because all of the folks that are going to see this on YouTube and so on, we're still here. We're still bringing it. It wasn't perfect technically, but sometimes the internet does that. Like, so what? So if you're worried about the email, send 2 different versions. Like Ryan has 1,600 people. A test, B test. Send 800 emails with 1 subject line. Send, don't stress over the details until you're refined enough in your business to really know what you're doing, right? I mean, we can get as advanced, but if you're not doing the basics, the advanced stuff doesn't matter. Like if you're looking for advanced before you do the basics, you're looking for a shortcut. And that's going to get you all going in the wrong direction. So perfection is the enemy of progress. Guys, have a great 2017 and pay really close attention because Office Hours has a bunch of big stuff in store. So stay tuned because while everybody else is in holiday mode, we're on 2017 kick you know what mode. See you guys next time.